70 candles. That's how many it took to light my mother's birthday cake, and somehow, none of them burned as hot as the shame sitting in my chest that night. Everyone was laughing, crowding around her for photos, faces glowing in the candlelight. Everyone except me. I stood off to the side, glass of sparkling cider in hand, pretending to smile. That's where I've existed for the past 3 years, the edges. The part of the family photo they always crop out. Ava, come on, get in the picture, my aunt called out, but no one moved to make space. I'm fine right here, I said. They thought I'd walked away from them, from my life, from everything, but the truth? I didn't walk away. That I was hidden. 3 years ago, I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. Back then, I was just a senior financial analyst at a private consulting firm in Philadelphia, the kind of place that looked honest from the outside, until I found the numbers, perfectly balanced books, but too perfect. Transfers that didn't exist, clients who weren't real, money laundering. Organized crime, and by the time I realized how deep it went, I was already in too far to walk away. That I did the right thing, or so I thought. That I reported it. I testified, and overnight, my life was gone. The U.S. Marshals gave me a new name, a new address, and a promise: you'll be safe if you stay invisible. So I disappeared. The house I'd worked 10 years to buy, a quiet colonial near Rittenhouse Square, was sealed under federal protection. I couldn't sell it. Couldn't visit. Couldn't even drive past without approval, but my family never knew that. They thought I'd cracked under pressure. They said I'd lost it, moved away, started some mysterious new life, and no matter how many times I tried to explain that I couldn't tell them the truth, they decided their version was easier to believe. So when I finally showed up at Mom's birthday, after missing 3 Christmases, 2 Thanksgivings, and more phone calls than I could count, the silence was thicker than the frosting on that cake. My brother, Evan, waited until the laughter died down. So, Ava, he said, leaning back on the couch, his tone too casual. We need to talk about your property situation. My what? Your house, he said, like the word itself disgusted him. The one you abandoned 3 years ago. The one that's been sitting there empty while you do whatever it is you do. I set my glass down. I didn't abandon it, Evan. I had to relocate for work. His wife, Lena, laughed, that brittle, sharp kind of laugh that sounds like glass breaking. You mean that secret job no one's allowed to know about? Sure. Must pay great, since you can't even visit for the holidays. I didn't rise to it. I'd learned to stay quiet. But what came next froze me where I Saturday. Evan pulled out his phone, tapped the screen, and turned it toward me. It was a real estate listing. My house sold. I found a buyer, he said proudly. Handled the paperwork, closed the deal last week. Someone had to step up. The room went still. You sold my house? I asked, the words barely making it out of my throat. I handled your property, he corrected. You weren't paying taxes. The neighborhood association was threatening liens. How? I interrupted. You're not on the deed. You don't have any authority. Lena smirked. He has power of attorney. You gave it to him. I blinked. No. I didn't. Evan's smirk widened. Yeah, you did. Got your signature right here. Notarized and everything. He showed me a photo of the document. My name. My handwriting. My signature, only it wasn't mine. The date on that paper, it was from the month I'd been living under protective custody, in another state, under another name. That's a forgery, I said quietly. Evan rolled his eyes. Here we go again, your excuses. You always run from responsibility. Where's the money? I asked. The sale price, $860,000. Paid off your debts, your taxes, gave Mom and Dad a little something for the stress you've caused. How much? $200,000, Lena said proudly. And the rest? Fees. Legal costs. You're lucky there's 50 grand left. I was gonna give it to you tonight. He tossed an envelope on the coffee table like a dog throwing a bone. You should be thanking me, Ava. I fixed your mess. I stared at him. You forged my name, sold my house, stole nearly $1 million, and you think I should thank you? He slammed his fist on the table. You ran away from your life. I did what needed to be done. That's when the doorbell rang. That my phone buzzed, again and again. I knew that vibration. The Marshals had been tracking me. When I entered my mother's house, my location had pinged their system. Elevated stress, elevated heart rate. They were coming to my cousin went to answer the door. Can I help you? She asked. UDAS Marshal Service. We need to speak with Ava Bennett. The room froze. Two men walked in, suits, badges, calm but alert. Deputy Marshal Walsh looked straight at me. Ms. Bennett, we need to talk. A sale was just logged under your name in Philadelphia. Did you authorize it? No, I said. I haven't touched that property in 3 years. Evan stood. Wait, who are you? What is this? Walsh turned to him. And you are? I'm her brother. I sold the house because she abandoned it. I had power of attorney. Walsh's jaw tightened. Show me. Evan held out his phone. Walsh glanced at the screen for 2 seconds before saying, this is a forgery. Ms. Bennett was in federal protective custody on this date. This sale is a federal crime. The room exploded, shouting, crying, confusion. Walsh raised his voice. Ms. Bennett is a protected federal witness. That property is a classified asset. You just committed fraud against the United States government. Evan's face went pale. I didn't know. You didn't ask, I said. You never asked. Walsh turned to me. Do you wish to press charges? The room went silent. I looked at the brother who'd spent his whole life calling me weak, selfish, broken, the brother who stole what wasn't his and nearly exposed everything I'd fought to protect. Yes, I said. I do. My mother screamed. My father called me heartless, but I didn't move. As they cuffed Evan and let him out, I stood in the doorway watching the only family I'd ever had fall apart under the weight of their own greed. Walsh's voice broke the silence. We'll relocate you tonight. Your cover's blown. I nodded. I figured. And as I stepped into the cold night air, I looked back through the window, at the flickering candles still burning on that cake, and realized something. Sometimes, the people who claim to protect you, are the ones you need protection from.